Welcome back to Gail Bear's Repairs. Today I'm going to show you how to change the oil and filter on this 2017 Honda Jazz. It's part of a three-part series, so part one in this video is the oil and filter, part two will be how to change the air filter, and part three I'll show you how to change a pollen filter. So that'll all be part of a basic service on the engine. If you found it useful and helpful, could you please like, subscribe and share. Right, let's get on with it. Okay, to do the oil and filter, we first need to get down under the front of the car. We'll go underneath and undo the belly pan. And this is what we see. We're after this one. We've got to get this belly pan off. It's very basic. There's screws around it and a couple of poppers at the back, and he just slides out towards the rear. I'll show you that now. So there's the two poppers I was talking about at the back of the pan. Very basic, got massive arrows pointing to it. So you just pop that out, slide the center out, and then that allows the rest of the popper to come out. Same here. And then all you've got remaining on this belly pan here is 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, and the same on the other side. Right, I've undone the other side of the screws. I've just got this side to do now. So it's just these 3 and the same on the other side. So that one, they're just Phillips head. They're only standard Phillips head screws. So we just undo these, and then the tray should just slide backwards. So the last one, and then the tray should just pull out. There it goes. So that's the tray removed. We can now gain access to the drain plug and the filter. Right, so we're under the car. There's the drain plug. 17mm spanner, and there's the oil filter. So get me washing up bowl and we'll drain the oil out of it. 17mm spanner onto the plug. We'll crack him off, and then we'll spin him out and we'll drain the oil. I have taken the oil filler cap off the top of the engine just to allow the air in as this oil exits. So get ready for the money shot. So we'll just let that drain. I don't know how much is in there. It's probably about 4 litres, something like that. 4.5 litres. There's the drain plug. I've got a new crush washer for it. There's the new washer. So we'll just let this drain, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Right, so it's been draining for about 5 minutes now. It's nearly done. There's just a very slight trickle coming out. Here's the drain plug. It's in very good order. We'll give it a wipe down, and then what we'll do, we'll get the old crush washer off. So there's the old sealing washer. And then we've got the new one. So we get that one off, dispose of that, new one on, and then we'll just put the old drain plug back in. And then we just give him a nip up, tighten up the plug, and then we can change the filter. Now that we've done up the drain plug, we've just got to give it a spray down with some brake cleaner, just so that we can observe if there's any leaks. So we just give it a spray down and a wipe, and then when we've refilled the oil and got it up to operating temperature, we can come back down here. Right, so we're now going to unscrew the oil filter. This one's on tight, so I'll get my grips on him. I'll have my washing up bowl down below, ready to catch any spills if anything comes down. I've got these quite large grips that I use. You can get all sorts of oil filter removal tools, so I'll just give him a light pinch, and there he goes, he's cracked off. So now we'll be able to spin him off by hand and be ready with the bowl. I don't know if you can see because my hand's in the way of the camera. There we go, look. So we've got a bit of oil coming out. It's worth having my bowl there. So these just spin off. So you're just doing this in an anti-clockwise direction, that's all. There we go. So that's the old oil filter removed. Very basic. Alright, so we'll give it a little clean around the seat where the oil filter actually seats to make sure there's no debris or dirt. This is in very clean condition. It's a low mileage car. We'll give it a spray with some brake cleaner again. We'll give it an examine. I've got my washing up bowl catching that residue, so we'll just give it a wipe down. So this is the surface that actually seals the oil filter for the oil coming out. It screws onto those threads. The oil filter screws onto there. So we just give it all a nice clean, and we'll examine this surface, and this is in very good order. So we're ready to put our new filter up. Right, so here's my new filter. There's a part number if you're in the UK that I've got fit into this car. There it is. And this is on the petrol 2017 Honda Jazz. So what you get is your new filter, and it's got this rubber sealing surface around there. Those threads there, which you can see in there, screw onto those threads there, and that outer surface is where the oil ring seats. That's that one. So we just dip our finger in our old oil and we just smear them around. It can be old oil or new oil, it doesn't really matter. It's just to lubricate so that when we screw up the filter, it doesn't drag on that surface. So all we're doing is screwing that one up. We're making sure that we don't damage these threads. So that's spun on lovely. Don't force this. If it doesn't want to go on, don't force it on. Take it off and start again. You don't want to damage the filter housing. So we just spin this in a clockwise direction. And we do it hand tight. So there he is. It's firmly tight there. And all I'll do, I'll just give him a little nip. There we go. So I know that that's not going to come off now. So that's it. We give it a little spray down again so that we can check for leaks when we run it off. That's it. The oil filter's fitted. Yeah, he's nice and tight. He's going nowhere. Now we've got the drain bung in, the plug, and we've got the filter in, so we can now go up top and fill it with oil. Right, so now we've got to fill the oil. We take off the filler cap. I like to use a funnel to prevent a bit of spillage. And then we've got 530 oil, and this one is fully synthetic. So it's a better quality oil. So we just pour it in. I'm going to put in 4 litres initially, and then we'll see what happens. Right, so that's about 4 litres. So we'll leave that there. We'll let it settle for a couple of minutes. We'll just let it drain down through the engine. I'll just let it chill for 5, and then we'll check the level. Right, so that was about 4 litres. So I'll dip in, give them a wipe. And we'll see what that's come up as. So, midpoint on the stick there. You can barely see it because it's new oil. So midpoint will add a bit more. So I'm just going to recheck the oil after I've topped it. It was on half, so I've wiped the stick. Yeah, so there, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, we're on 3/4. It's very difficult to see with the new oil. I can definitely see 3/4 on there. So that'll do. I like it on 3/4. 3/4 to max. We'll put the oil filler cap back on. Dipstick's in, the sump plug's in, the oil filter's in. We'll spark them up, we'll give them a little run, and then we'll recheck the oil again after 5 minutes, because the oil filter's got to fill up with oil, so that'll gulp a little bit of oil. So we'll give them a little start up and see where we go. So the engine's been running for 5 minutes. I'll recheck the oil. You feel that the oil's slightly warm now. So we'll just recheck it and see what we've got. Oh, he's on. He's just between 1/4 and nearly half. So he does need a little top up. So that oil filter and running it around the engine has used a little bit of oil, so we'll just readjust that now. So I won't bore you with that again, you know the process. Get them warm, check in, and make sure you put your filler cap on at the end. I'll take it downstairs now with it running, and we'll check for leaks. Right, so we're down under the car now. I don't know if you can hear me properly because of the engine noise. Around the oil filter there. Absolutely dry. No leaks whatsoever. Car's been running now for about 15 minutes. And the drain plug, the same, absolutely dry with a new washer on it. So we can safely say that it'll go by. Right, so that's the oil and filter changed on this 2017 Honda Jazz. I think you'll agree with me that it's a task that's easily achievable by your average domestic mechanic. Something to be aware of. If you've got it up on ramps, make sure you recheck the oil on with the car on the flat, on the level. Don't check it while the car's up at an angle on the ramps. That's about it. That's all you need to worry about. Make sure your oil filler cap's back on and your dipstick's in. This is part 1 of a 3-part series on how to service your Honda Jazz. So tune in for the part 2 and 3. I'll see you next time.